Hey there, welcome back to Sea Power. Today looking at the Pact Enhanced Lethality mod, as made by Nuclear Stonk. This mod, as the name indicates, makes the Soviet warships even more deadly. This is a bit of a counter to the NTU mod, the new threat upgrade. And this definitely makes Soviet warships, such as the ones as the Kirov over here, even more scary. Let's have a look at some of their weapons. Now, I'm going to open up the display of both the Kirov and the Kirov 90, as I believe they called it. Over here she is, the Frunze. The Kirov 90. This is the modernized version of the Kirov. You can see it has a few more weapon systems, or at least a few different ones. For example, the base Kirov has the SAN-4, the Gecko. This is the one you might have used to defend the Kirov before. Range 5.3 miles. But now they got the SAN-4 Bravo. 8-mile range, with a missile that is the same speed. This is going to make potentially a bit of a difference, especially against large swarms of harpoons. However, we also now get access to some other surface-to-air missiles, because they get access to the SAN-20 and the SAN-9. That all fits on this ship, so this ship now has 4 surface-to-air missiles, the SAN-6, the 4B, the 20 and the 9. The SAN-9 Gauntlet has a range of 6.6 miles with a speed of 1600 knots, and the other one, the SAN-20 Gargoyle, has a speed of 4100 knots. That's a heck of a fast missile, doing 83 miles. It is the naval version of the SAN-10, also known as the S-300, land-based surface-to-air missile. Powerful long-range missile fitted in the in the Soviet missile cruiser classes. Offers performance comparable to that of the SM-2. That's a heck of a lot of range with an extremely fast missile. Because it is so fast, that might be its undoing. Because if you can outturn that missile, I expect that you might be able to dodge it. But it's not going to be easy. Thankfully, weapons-wise, the shipwrecks weren't changed. And yet... the SSN-19s now have a maximum group size of 24 missiles. So you can launch a very sizable spread of them. And, I mean, you can send all 20. And they will link up, they will form the hive mind, and they will decide what target needs what many missiles. Good lord. Very, very scary missile, this SSN-19. And just having more of them work together is not necessarily going to extend the life expectancy of some NATO warships. Now, it's not just some of these ships that have gotten attention, there's also the Slava. You might know the base Slava, you might have played around with it, you might have been on the receiving end of it, but you also got the Slava 90, which has some slightly different loadouts. As you can see here, we get the SAN-4 Bravo, which is that better Gecko. And when it comes to the missile, they get the SSN-12 Bravo as opposed to the SSN-12 Standard. So this is the Sandbox, range about 300 miles, speed 1000 knots. This one has a range of 435 miles. It's known as the P-1000 Vulcan, is a Soviet surface-launched supersonic standoff anti-ship missile made to be a major modernization of the P-500. So it is definitely faster, it has more range, it's a very scary weapon. And you can definitely hit NATO from way beyond their range. Even with NTU, and for example giving ships cruise missiles, such as the Tomahawks, yeah, you'll outrange them by about 130 miles, I think. Very, very, very long range. Outside of that, they do have the same weapons, so those aren't that different. What is different is that even some ships such as submarines now have gotten some upgrades. Over here you can see the Echo. This is the base Echo, the Echo 2. And we also get the... hold on. There's a whole bunch of different ones. Yes. They're all called Echo 2 just to make these easy. However, they do get slightly different loadouts. So on the left you got the base model, the SSN-3 and ship missile, the Shedok, with a range of 242 miles. That's their standard missile. They now get access to the SSN-12B, but that's only in the 675 MKV variant. This missile has a range, again, of 435 miles. It's the same sandbox. It's that P-1000 Vulcan. So not only can your Slavas fire this, your submarines can now also send these big boys out to meet the enemy. The other one does not quite have the same design. The 675MK gets an upgrade from the Shadok to the Sandbox, which already is a sizable improvement, but it's not as big of an improvement to the SSN-12 Bravo, also known as the P-1000. So you get the P-500s on that, the MK version, and then the MKV version has the better missile. So if you pick up an Echo, try and kill it quickly before it decides to terminate you from way, way, way beyond visual line of sight. The Kiev, our aircraft carrier. I do believe that they gave this thing a slight makeover, although not as impressive. They get the M11 Storm, also known as the SAN-3 Bravo, 30 miles anti-air missile or surface-to-air missile. It's known as the Goblet in NATO terms. It's a slight improvement, and you can see that this is the base version of the Kiev. There's no Kiev 90, so the base Kiev has been changed. The other ships, which are the 90s variants, those, if you want to use them, you have to add into scenarios yourself. The base game is not going to adopt those new weapon systems that you can find on this mod. However, some of the weapons, such as the ones on the Kiev, seeing there is no new Kiev model, will transfer over. Helicopters have also been given some attention. We got the Ka-27PL helicopter as you know it. However, now comes equipped with the AS-20, the Kayak. Apparently this is their version of the American Harpoon, is thus dubbed affectionately as the Harpoonski. So we now have a range of 70 miles at a standoff missile from a helicopter. It's pretty scary, especially if you can rearm these things on the fly on your warship and potentially launch, let's say, 2 of these helos. Well, maybe more if you're talking about the Kirov. Oh, sorry, the Kiev. Kirov 2, by the way. The Kirovs can launch, what, 3? Yeah, so you got the edge ship loadout with 2 kayaks. This does not necessarily make a heck of a difference, because you can still launch 2 of these and you'll only get 4 missiles, which in case of the Kirov is a drop in the bucket. They got their own in-ship missiles. But hey, some smaller ships, they will definitely improve their efficacy. We also got the Su-24 just flying past here. These guys get the AS-11 and the AS-11 Alpha, depending on the type of loadout that you go for. The AS-11 Alpha, that is the changed version. It is a slight improvement, but I'm not seeing that much of it. It has an active radar seeker. This one has anti-radiation homing. So this is, let's say, homing in on a radiation target, such as an active radar. This one does not, but instead has an active radar homing. It does mean that you're not as reliant upon, for example, the enemy turning their radar on. You can just have the weapon search out the target all by itself. There's also the the Tu-22 here, which now carries the AS-4 Delta Kitchen, with a range of minimum 60 miles. Keep that in mind as you're deploying these into a scenario. 60 mile minimum range, launch altitude of 5,000 all the way up to 65,000, and a range of 335 miles. Sizable missiles by the looks of it, so try not to get hit by them. And if you're running NTU, I imagine you probably spot these and shoot their missiles down in a hurry without them really becoming that much of an issue. The mod is still in development, so keep that in mind. Some missile behavior has also been changed. Some missiles are more capable at dodging COIs, apparently, which for NATO ships is definitely going to cause some issues. There are also, as Nuclear Stonk writes, some known issues with some of these missiles and some of these designs. Changing the designs or just swapping out an entire design is apparently not possible in the game currently. Nuclear Stonk has also written that he has done a new balance pass for most Soviet anti-ship and anti-air missiles, generally improving performance for later systems. Not particularly specific on what weapon systems have been changed and how they have been changed, but every time that you see a Soviet ship, well, if it's hostile, try to fire first. Although, given the Soviet missile range, that's not going to be easy. Best try and stay covert if you can. As for balance, this is always going to be a point of contention, and that's why I think this is good to be a single-player game. Some people are going to say, oh no, but this Soviet stuff never exists. It's a game, right? It's a game. Don't want it? Fine, don't play it. Don't like the mod? Don't download it. It's that easy. If you do want to have a bit more of a, I'd say, fairer fight between the Soviets and the Americans, go and get this mod and install NTU while you're at it, and then go build a scenario. I am definitely going to be building a scenario, or potentially there's already one out there, and play that, and have a look at how those new Soviet ships handle themselves. Because, of course, it's nice that all those weapons have been improved, but what NATO also got in the NTU mod quite a lot is a hefty improvement in their sensor systems. And that can make all the difference. Detecting threats early and then being able to engage them, that makes all the difference. The mod is linked down below. You can find it in the description, and for those of you who keep asking, okay, I have subscribed, how do I now enable it? You go back to the main menu, or rather, you start up the game, you go to Mod Manager, and there you will find all the mods that you can subscribe, or rather, that you have subscribed to, and that you can enable. For example, over here I have the realistic damage model, the realistic damage mod, the Nimitz full capacity mod. If you want to enable those, just tick them, and then click accept. The game is going to say, oh, I will reload the game and refresh the background data. And basically saying, I'm going to enable the mod. Just say yes, and the game is going to restart, or rather reload with those new mods installed. And that's how you do that. It's no more difficult than that. So subscribe to the mod, open the game, open the mod manager, hit that tick box in front of a mod and go accept, and relaunch the game. And that's it. And then you have the newly installed mod. However, as mentioned, but I'll highlight it again, base units probably won't have most of those changes. Some of the 90s models that you have seen or that I've shown you in the mod are not part of the base game, so will not show up in some of the base scenarios. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what mods I should be reviewing other than this one, and I look forward to seeing your suggestions down below. Thank you for watching, hope you have a very good day, and I'll see you soon for more Sea Power.